Hello, and welcome to Phonograms from Home with Ms. Jarman. Last week we did a lot with vowels, and this week we're going to do a lot with one particular vowel, and that is E. Rule 7. There are 5 jobs for silent final E. Let's look at the sounds that E makes when it's not silent. E just has the 2. It has the of egg and the E of rerun. 2 simple sounds. This sound is E. What sound? E. But with Rule 7, and you might know this already, there's a lot of times when you'll see E in a word and it makes no sound at all. Silent final E. What do we know about silent final E? This word is cap. It's just a real simple consonant, vowel, consonant, simple word, and that word is cap. What word? Cap. Now, what happens when we add a silent final E to the word cap? We add that silent final E to the word cap, and we get the word cape, like magic almost, except it's not magic, it's phonics. Adding a silent final E can change the whole sound that a vowel makes, and it can change the whole meaning of the word, cap, cape. You know a lot of words like this already. We just talked about cap, cape, and here's just a few more examples. Mat turns into mate. Pin turns into pine. Tim, now this is a name, so I have a capital T. Tim is a person's name. Now I add that silent final E and it turns into time. Now I've got a lowercase t because nobody's name is Time, I don't think. Time. Tot turns into tote. Cub turns into cube just by adding a silent final E. It's a very powerful letter. And as you've probably noticed, all of these words that got the silent final E added, the vowels are making their long vowel sound. The vowels are saying their name, as we would say in elementary school. The A's are saying A, cape, mate. The I's are saying I, pine, time. The O is saying O in tote. And the U is saying U in cube. So silent E made the vowels say their name. But this is not always true. What about words like have? Have has a silent final E at the end of it, but we don't say have. Why don't we spell have like this without a silent final E on the end of it? Why isn't it just have, H-A-V? Because English words don't end in V. They just don't. They don't end in V. So when we've got words like have, give, love, live, that could also be live, above, all of these, except maybe live, but it's also live, all of these vowels are making their short sound, but they still need that E on the end because you can't end an English word with a V. That is not a thing that English words do. And that is usually true for the single vowel U, too. There are some words in English that end in the single vowel U, like flu, although flu is short for a much bigger word, which is influenza. But usually, you don't see words like blue or true end just with that U, they've got a silent final E too. So blue has a silent final E. So does true. So does glue. So does do. And so does Q. Silent final E. What about words like chance and change? They have silent final E's on them. Chance and change. Why don't we just spell them like this, without the final E? Now think back, because we had a lesson about this. Why would a C or a G need an E after them? Why would they need that? Because of rules 2 and 3. You remember rule 2, the letter C before an E, I, or Y always says S. Followed by any other letter, it says K. Same with G. The letter G before an E, I, or Y may say J. Followed by any other letter, it says G. So words like chance and change need that silent final E to make their soft sounds. If change didn't have that E on it, it would have to be a hard G. It would have to say chang. If chance didn't have that E on it, it would have to be a hard C. It would say chank. So we need those E's to give it their soft sounds. Chance and change. Have you ever noticed that words like little end with a silent final E too? You don't hear an E sound in the word little at all. Why isn't it just like that? Why isn't it little? And leave it at that. Here's a hint. Syllables. Every syllable needs at least one vowel. So even though you can't hear that E in the second syllable of little, you still need it, because that's a rule in the English language. You cannot have a syllable that does not have a vowel. And so, since E can do its silent thing at the end of the word, we can just use E to be that vowel. There are a lot of words like this in the English language. I bet you know a lot of these already. I'm going to clap the syllables as I say them. We're going to start with this one right here. This word is able, able. This word is candle, candle. Silent final E in that syllable, because a syllable needs a vowel. This word is waffle, little, eagle, ankle, apple, tassel, drizzle. So even though the only sound you hear in any of those second syllables is ul, they still need that final silent E to give it its vowel so that it can be a syllable. Rule 7, there are 5 jobs for silent final E, and we've learned 4 of those 5 jobs already. Let's look at them again. Job number 1, silent final E makes a vowel say its name, like words like time. Job number 2, for words like have and blue, because English words don't end in V, and English words usually don't end in the single vowel U. Job 2, have and blue. Job 3, chance and change, rules 2 and 3. To say they're soft sounds, this C and this G need to be followed by a final silent E. Job 3, chance and change. Job 4, those syllable words like little, because every syllable needs at least one vowel. Final silent E can be that one vowel. That's its 4th job, little. And the 5th job isn't really a job at all. Some teachers call this no job R. And this is the word R, like how are you, or where are my keys? R has a silent final E on it, not really doing any kind of a job at all. It's just there. We teachers think this is probably a relic from Old English or possibly Gaelic, but there it is, no job R. It's time to practice writing and spelling our Rule 7 words. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you do it out of memory. You're going to follow along with me. We're going to do it together. I will show you how, and you will practice. But you're going to need some paper and pencil or just anything to write with. Crayon, markers, Sharpies if you're allowed to use Sharpies, and something to write on too. And we'll practice spelling these words together. So go ahead and pause the video, get something to write with, get something to write on, and we'll practice our Rule 7 words. Here we go. The first word is game. Roblox is a fun game. And there is game. Don't forget that silent final E. The next word is time. It is time to get ready to practice writing our phonograms. Time. T-I-M-E, silent final E. Time. The next word is have. I have 2 cats. Have. Have starts out pretty easy. You know it starts with an H. That's A, making a short sound. You hear a V at the end of it. Don't stop here. English words don't end in V. So we need that E, that silent final E. Have. The next word is give. Please give me a piece of gum. Give. And there is silent final E doing its job, its second job again. Give. Those are all the sounds we hear, but we can't end with just a V because English words don't end in V. So it needs that silent final E. Give. The next word is above. I saw an eagle flying in the sky above. Above. This word is tricky because of the vowel sounds in it. It sounds like above, but it's actually, there's an A making the sound. B, no surprises there. This is an O, not a U, even though it sounds exactly like a U. There's a rule behind this that I'm not ready to teach you today, but you'll see it in words like love and shove and above, which we're working on right now, where it sounds like a U, but it's actually an O. Here's that V sound, but we're not done. So many tricks in above. You can get it wrong at every turn. That's why it's good to practice this one. Above, we're not done because English words don't end in V. So we need an E. There are words in other languages that end in V. But English has that rule where our words don't end in V. I don't know why, but it's good to know it. above. The next word is true. It was true. True. There's a consonant blend here in true. It's a TR. I know. You might want to put like a CHR, tr, because that's what it sounds like. But no, it's TR, true. And the rule we're focusing on here, of course, is that silent final E. You need it because English words usually don't end in the single vowel U. They might end with U in like a combination of vowels, but usually they don't just end with U. You need that E, that silent final E. The next word is blue. My mom's favorite color is blue. Blue. And just like true, blue has that E at the end, even though you don't really hear an E. We've also got a consonant blend at the start here. We've got BL going bull. Ooh, don't forget the E, the silent final E. Next word is due. My library book was due. D, whoops, U, silent final E, because English words don't end in the single vowel U, usually. Due. The next word is chance. There's a chance it might rain today. Chance. You've got your ch, and you've got your ants, your A-N, an, and your C, and your silent final E to make that C say S. Chance. The next word is dance. Some people really like to dance. Dance. And dance is just the same as chance, except it has a D at the front instead of a CH. And then the A, the N, the C, and the E are all the same. Dance with that silent final E so that the C can say S. Dance. Here's one maybe you haven't heard before, or maybe you know it. This word is glance. Glance, and it means to look at something very quickly and not very carefully. Glance. I gave a glance to the noise outside. Glance. And it's pretty similar to chance and dance. It just starts with the GL blend, gl. And then the ants is exactly the same. Ants. Glance needs that E so that the C can say S. Glance. The next word is charge. I need somewhere to charge my phone. Charge. And I think we did this word when we did rules 2 and 3, and here it is again. It's got the ch, it's got the R, and it needs that silent final E so that that G can make its J sound. Otherwise it would be charg. And what's a charg? Nobody knows. Charge. The next word is large. One of my cats is very large. He's actually in here walking all over me right now. Hello, Pascal. Large. Large is a lot like charge. It's got that L at the beginning, and the rest of it is the same. Lar. That A-R-R. There's your G, but in order for it to say J instead of G, it needs that silent final E. Large. The next word is page. It's time to turn the page. Page. I like this one because it's combining two of silent final E's jobs. It's making the A say its name, but it's also making that G a soft G. Page. This feels like a really good time to tell you, because I haven't told you this yet, that English words don't end in J either. Just like they don't end in V, they don't end in J. You will never see a J at the end of the word like that. It sounds just like a J, but that's just the sound of G making its soft sound with that E after it. You don't ever, 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 ever end an English word in J. Maybe other languages, but not English. They don't end in J. Page. The next word is little. Can I have a little bit of ice cream? Little. Little has the word lit in it. Lit. Then we're going to have a second T in that second syllable, lit, hole. And we're going to have that L, of course, because we hear an L. We're going to have that silent final E because every syllable needs at least one vowel. Little. The next word is apple. I would love to eat a Honeycrisp apple. Apple. Okay, kind of similar to little. We've got a two-syllable word, apple. You've got app in the first syllable, AP. Then you've got that second consonant, double consonant. We hear an L, but we can't just end with that L because every syllable needs at least one vowel. And that vowel is going to be our silent final E. Apple. Apple. The next word is waffle. If I ever go out to breakfast again, I'm going to order a big Belgian waffle. Waffle. Another two-syllable word with a double consonant. Waffle. You hear the L, but it can't just end with that L. It needs an E because every syllable needs at least one vowel. Waffle. Waffle. Silent final E. Waffle. The next word is shuffle. I will shuffle the cards before we play Uno. Shuffle. Shuffle is such a fun word. I just had to include it. It's got that SH. Shh. It's got U making its first sound. There's our F, shuff, double consonant. Shuffle, we hear that L, needs that silent final E because every syllable needs at least one vowel. Shuffle. The next word is R. Where are my keys? R. Even though the only sounds we hear are the A and the R, it still needs that E. This is what we call no job E, final no job E, because it's not really doing a job here. We don't really need it, except that we do need it because it's just like that. This is one of those things in the English language where there's not a super logical reason for it. It just is. So whenever you want to say, where are my keys? Or where are my shoes? Or where are my, I don't know, books? It's A-R-E. R, no job R. I'm going to end with a fun one that's also kind of long, just because I like it. This word is adventure, because Miss Jarman has been watching a lot of Adventure Time during this quarantine. I have been binging Adventure Time. Adventure. It's a long word, but we're going to break it down. First of all, the ad, A-D, that's pretty simple so far. Then, V-E-N, adven, so far no surprises. This T is one of those T's that sounds like it might be a CH, but it is not. And that's another one of those rules that I'm not ready to teach today, but there's a lot of times where we think we're hearing a CH and it's really just some T doing a weird T thing. So it is T-U-R, and then I think, I'm not sure if this is no job R or if this is job 1R. It's not an R at all, Miss Jarman, it's an E. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's how you spell adventure. And those are the words that we're going to spell today. I'm not going to do a reading drill because I believe that you were already pretty well able to read these words. I think the challenge has always been spelling these words. Spelling words with final silent E jobs is tricky because you can't always hear those E's. They are indeed silent. So let's review the final silent E jobs. The first job is in words like time, where it makes the vowel say its name. The second job is for words like have and blue that end in a V sound or a U sound, because you can't end an English word that way. So we just put that final silent E on there to make it legit. Job 2, have and blue. Job 3, it's our good old favorite rules 2 and 3 for having the C in chance and the G in change make their soft sounds. They need that E after them. Job 3. Job 4, the syllable job. Every syllable needs at least one vowel, even when you can't hear that vowel, like in words like little. And finally, it's good old no job R. Where are my pants? That's how you spell R. And that is the lesson for today. And now I'm going to send you on a highlight hunt, which is kind of like a scavenger hunt. Here's how it's going to work. Final silent E's are everywhere. I want you to see how many you can find just in the words around your house. How many can you find in magazines or newspapers or junk mail? Like, here's a Garfield cartoon, and it has the word dance in it. Dance is one of the words that we spelled today. And there's that silent final E. Whoops, as I scribble over it. And here's the word alone. E is doing its first job there. It's making that O say its O. Alone. Here's the word middle. That's a syllable E, final silent E. Middle. There's adventure. We just spelled it. Oh, hey, we spelled time too. There's those E's. Is there one in here? Oh yeah, the word people. People has a syllable final silent E in it. All right, I'm having way too much fun here. Your turn. Go look for these at home, and then every day I'm going to ask you to type in the words that you found. And if you want to tell me where you found them, you can tell me that too. All right, and that is it for today. Take a break. That was kind of a long lesson. You did a lot of good work today, and I will see you next time.